Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining me. Today I have two great DIY projects for you. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. You're going to need 3 of these painter sticks and 2 of the grill cleaning brushes. What you're going to do first is remove the bristles from both of the brushes, which is pretty easy. Just get a good pair of pliers or some scissors and just pull them out like so. Just be careful when you remove the bristles because they do fly away from you. Just use a tray or something like this to catch them all. As you can tell, it's not very hard to do. And once you've removed all of the bristles, what you're going to do is get your painter sticks. Or if you can't find painter sticks, you can use the rulers from Dollar Tree. But you're going to remove the handle part, I guess you could say, of the painter stick, right where that groove is at. And again, I just used a cutting razor. And just pull it apart. If there's any little pieces left, again, you can just use the little razor or box cutter to remove that piece. And you do that to all 3 of the sticks. So if you're going to use a ruler, it would be about 10 inches long. And see how it's curved, the brushes? What I'm going to do is have them go out, the curved part, and the bristle part in. And I made sure that both of the bristle brushes, there's a hole in each one of them. I made sure both of the holes of each stick were on the top side of what's going to be the mini ladder. That way I could hang my mini ladder as well. Using E6000 or Fix-All glue, I didn't have any wood glue, but if you have wood glue, I think it would be better for you to use wood glue than the E6000, but it worked just fine either way. And a little bit of hot glue just so you can have it stay in place. You're going to glue all 3 of the painter sticks. One trick I can tell you that I didn't do until I didn't realize it until I was going to start painting it. You see how some of them it has that lettering or the wording on the painter stick? Make sure you put that towards the bottom of the ladder. Because if you do towards the top, then you really have to make sure you paint it good. In order for it to be covered and you not to see that, or sand it. I didn't sand it either, so I don't know if sanding would work also, but if not, easiest way, just make sure you put that wording towards the bottom, facing the bottom of the ladder. Here I am just putting a little bit more of the hot glue just so it can stay in place. Once these 2 were kind of secure, I went ahead and put the 3rd stick in the middle. Like so. And this, I waited about overnight for it to dry. Then I'm using some of this chalk paint from Waverly and painting it. I'll leave the color of the paint down below. I can't remember if it was hazelnut or another color, but I'll make sure and leave the color I used down below. And I just used one of the makeup brushes. I've heard a lot of people saying that it's a lot easier to use a makeup brush, so I wanted to try it on this project. It was smooth, but I felt like I used a lot more paint than I would have used using a normal paintbrush. But I mean, it works. So you go ahead and paint all of your ladder. You just let it dry between each time you paint it. I used 2.5 coats, I guess you could say, because again, I had to paint the middle part or the steps, I guess you could say, of the ladder twice because of the lettering. So once it's all completely dry, I got some jute twine and went through the 2 openings that are on the top of the mini ladder. And you don't have to do this again. This is optional. I just wanted to have the option of either hanging it on my wall or just placing it on a shelf. And you just run the jute twine through the rope and tie a knot. And just make it as long as you like, depending on how you want to hang yours. This was a super easy DIY and I love it. You can see I was having a little bit of difficulty with my rope because I didn't know if I was going to tie it or what I was going to do, but I ended up just hot gluing and wrapping it around the opening of the ladder where my rope's going to be at, just to cover that hole because it was a pretty big size opening there. And I just wrapped it around about 3 times. And I decided to do this because I knew I was going to wrap jute twine around each one of the steps, so I didn't want it to go ahead and look cohesive with the rest of the mini ladder. I'm thinking of doing a larger ladder using the same items I used for this ladder. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do a tutorial on it as well. There you go. And then again, you get some more of the jute twine and you just twist it around each one of the steps. Because it was a little bit wobbly, I just wanted extra durability with it. Of course, I'm not going to put anything extremely heavy on this, but still I wanted to make sure it was safe and secure enough so it wouldn't fall apart or anything like that. And I just made an X with the jute twine on each one of the steps on both sides, like so. And you can just twist it around once or as many times as you want. I twisted it around about 2 to 3 times on each step. And then once I twisted it around, I tied a little knot and then just put some hot glue just to secure it. Have you guys made one of these mini ladders? If you have, let me know or put a picture and tag me so I can see how yours came out. This is how mine came out. What do you guys think? Okay, the second DIY we're going to do is another easy one. You're going to use some of these plastic bowls, like dipping bowls, I guess they're called, and they're in the party section at Dollar Tree. And I spray painted them white. And then with my hot glue gun, you see that I made 2 openings on the bottom, and that's because I'm thinking of putting some real succulents in this hanging pot, using it as a pot, like a flower pot. So I wanted to make sure it had some kind of drainage, but you can easily put a little bit of rocks down at the bottom or pebbles and it would work just fine also. So again, I spray painted each bowl and I'm using 3 of them, and the package comes with 12. So you can do quite a few of these with just 1 package of these bowls. And then you're going to get some jute twine, and it's roughly about maybe 18 inches of length, and you double that to get the right amount of jute twine if you want some correct measurements. And then you're going to glue your first one down, find the middle of your jute twine, and then I put hot glue and just place my jute twine right there. You see where the holes are in between, so that's where I put my jute twine. I wanted to make sure I didn't cover those openings up for the drainage. And then just glue it towards the top. And once you're done with the first one, roughly about 3 inches up from the first one, you can do 2 things. You can either make a knot, like so, and then put your second bowl on top of the knot, like that. Or the way I saw it, on the website that I got inspired from, they just had it opening, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to hot glue the rope, the jute twine, on either side of my second bowl. You don't have to hot glue it towards the bottom of your bowl. You're just going to glue it on either side. And again, roughly about 3 inches from the top, from the second bowl, I'm sorry, or the first bowl. I'll get it right. And then you do, after you hot glue the second bowl, you do the third bowl. And again, you do it 3 inches or so, depending on what you're going to put in your bowls from the second bowl. Now take it, this isn't, these are plastic, so I wouldn't put anything too heavy on these, but you can easily put a real succulent and be just fine. Or, maybe some herbs would be really cute. If you're thinking of putting real or something heavier in here, I would recommend you getting the mini flower pots from Dollar Tree that come in 3 or 4 in a pack, and using that, and maybe using E6000 instead of hot glue to glue your jute twine. But other than that, you're fine with this one. It really holds and it's secure. Once you're done placing your third bowl, you just tie a knot on the top. And I tied it like this so I can have a knot on the top, like an opening on the top, so I can hang it. And then you can either cut whatever is left of the jute twine, or you can twist it around and put a little bit of hot glue just to make it look thicker on the top, the knot. And there you have it. And in the bottom, again, it's optional if you want to have that tail, or you can cut it off. And here's how it looks with fake succulents from Dollar Tree. But again, I'm going to put real ones in it. So what do you guys think? Which one was your best, the one you liked best of these 2 DIYs? Let me know in the comments below. See you soon. Bye.